Morris set a fast pace, and the first hint of sunlight had begun to illuminate the fog rising from the cool waters of the Rappahannock as we found the river road. It was a 2-hour ride to Port Royal, but Abraham and I lagged badly on a single horse, and we reached our destination a good 20 minutes behind the detachment. We found them resting their blown horses and listening as Morris instructed them on the next stage of the ride. The chase would be south, he said, down the Richmond Road to Bowling Green. Booth must be taken alive, etc., etc. But before he could finish his exhortation, Morris received a shock. On the opposite side of the Rappahannock, at the ferry slip at Port Conway, there now appeared Federal cavalry, and in quite a large number. 16th New York Cavalry, damn 'em.
Welcome to APN TV Media. My name is Bob Beatles, and the guests here tonight are Robert Dockery, his mother Eleanor, and his aunt Shirley McDonald. And welcome to the show, and we'll start off talking to Robert. Why did you want to write a book on autism?
Well, I wanted to write a book on autism because I wanted to inspire the world, and I wanted to teach people that if I can overcome my challenges, then so can they.
Okay, and that gave you the title, The Autistic Child. Okay, and where were you born, Robert?
May 23rd, 2001.
Well, I didn't say that very well, did I? I said, where were you born?
Providence in Southfield.
Southfield, okay, okay. And I know your mother was there. How about your aunt?
No, I wasn't there when he was born.
Okay. And how did you know you had autism?
Well, my mom always told me that I had autism ever since I was growing up. She never hid it from me. She always pushed me. She always encouraged me. And so did my siblings. My sister Katrina, my brother Darnell Denzel, they all pushed me to be the person that I am today.
Well, it looks like they did a really good job. And so you knew about autism from the time you were a young man,
yes.
a child.
Yes.
All right. And tell us about your autobiographical book.
Well, my book is about my struggles coming up with autism, and it's about the things that's about my special interests, along with me and other autistic children, you know, and the special interests that I like and things like that.
Okay, and I'm sure you're in much of the book, Eleanor?
Well, I don't know if I don't think he put me in too much of it. I think he was just basically saying about his experiences, you know.
Okay.
And his struggles growing up with it.
And you were there the whole time, obviously.
Oh, yes, the whole time.
and you were the one who helped him probably
yes.
The most, and I would guess that his Aunt Shirley gave him a lot of help too.
Yes.
Yes.
So how much time did Robert spend with you?
Well, Robert spent mostly weekends and some holidays, but it was him, his sister, and his cousin, Mark. And they were all over the house all the time, and Robert would get so frustrated with himself, struggling with his disability, he would hit himself. And I would tell him, no, Robert, don't. But as he got bigger, he told me one day, he said, Auntie, he said, I hit myself, and I wanted to kill myself because I can hear you talking to me, and my cousin and my sister, but I couldn't speak. And that's why I would get so angry.
Oh.
So, yes. And that's why he really wrote this book, and I'm so proud of him.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's a big step
That's
forward.
a big step.
Huge.
Yes, it is.
All right. Yeah, and I'm sure your mom's proud too.
Very much so. Very much so proud of him. Yes, we are.
Oh, that's good. That is good. It's about your struggles.
Yes, and it's about my special interests with hobbies such as playing video games and interacting with dogs, because those are the things that were important to me at the time and still are.
Now, how did the video games, interacting with the video games, help you to develop?
It helped me to develop because it was something to look forward to, and in a way it taught me to be self-sufficient.
And how about the dogs?
The dogs, it taught me to bond with animals, and they taught me to love people and not things, and love animals and not things.
Right, and yeah, you can tell that dogs love animals.
Yes.
And people.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Life is more than just a box of chocolates. Understanding autism and learning positive ways in achieving our humanity for every child.
Robert Lee Dockery had overcome many obstacles, and now he has written his life's journey in autism called The Autistic Child, an in-depth look from an autistic child's eyes, like me. Copies at online stores where available.
So the animals played a very important part in your life. How many animals have you interacted with, say, over the years?
I think I've interacted with like 10 or 12 dogs.
Okay. And it's all been dogs?
Yes.
Okay. Well, dogs are very friendly, and they like people probably more than any animals I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So, now you went to school. Did you start first grade at 5 or 6 or?
I started off in special ed classes over at Roosevelt Elementary School from 2007 to 2009, and I would continue on to those special ed classes for 1 year when we had went to Kennedy Elementary School back in 2009 and 2010. But in the year 2009, 2010, I would be transitioning, from general ed classes to special ed classes.
Okay. So you went from the special ed classes to the general classes.
Yes.
And then you graduated from grade school. And then where did you go to high school?
Ferndale High School.
Ferndale.
Yes.
And you were there for 4 years?
Yes.
And then you graduated, and then you went to college also?
Yes.
Which college?
MCTI Trade College.
Okay. And was that a 4-year course you took, or?
It was a 2-month course I took.
Okay. And you graduated with that.
Yes.
And what have you been doing since then? I mean, besides writing your autobiography?
I've been working a job as a CNA at Fox Run, and it's called,
Now, what is a CNA?
a CNA is a person who takes care of older people.
Okay. And Fox Run is a
Nursing home.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So you're caring for people at a nursing home
And it's in Novi.
in Novi. And was that basically a 40-hour-a-week job, or?
Yes, it's a 40-hour-a-week job.
Okay, so you're putting in a lot of time helping older people.
Yes.
That's interesting in the sense that some older people develop problems like you would have had when you were younger.
Yes.
So you recognize what's going on in a lot of cases. So, as Robert's mother, how did you deal with the autism as he was a young man?
Well, I just, as we say, I had to just roll with it, and take it on as it came to me. I didn't know anything about autism. He wasn't speaking, and I had 3 other children, so I knew that at a certain age, you're supposed to be saying
Right.
certain things, and he wasn't doing that. So I went, and early on, he had to be about 2.5, and I took him to the elementary school, and they tested him, and they put him in school right away, and he was actually the youngest child at the elementary. They let him start. Nobody had been at that elementary that young. So they let him start, and they worked with him, and and early intervention is what really is the key
Oh, yes.
to having autism, because you catch it early and you can pretty much overcome a lot of obstacles, like speaking. You have to catch that really early,
Right.
and then they can overcome that. So that's the key, early intervention.
That does sound like. Now, how were you involved as his aunt early on? You would have been taking care of him. Were you helping teach him to speak also, or?
Yes, when he started to do things like get frustrated, and I would tell him, Robert, well, let's try talking, and I'd say different words, try to get him to talk and make him smile so he wouldn't cry and feel like he was left out.
Well, that's good. That was very good thinking on your part. So, your mother was with you from pretty much the beginning then, and as far back as you can remember, it would have been your aunt and your mother next to you a lot.
Yes.
Okay. So in your book, are your aunt and your mother mentioned a whole lot, or?
Yes.
All right.
For example, I have a special talent with dates, and I remember when last year when we were over my uncle's mansions, and I told my auntie, I remember back in 2010 when me, my sister, and my cousin, we went to my elementary school, Kennedy, back in 2010 for my cousin's baseball game.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I wrote down that, my family members are amazed at this special talent. And I wrote down that I help my mother with this special talent that I have every day, with everyday things, such as, remembering to wake up at a certain time and things like that.
Oh, that's good. That is good. So, Robert now is, even though he would still be suffering from autism, seems to function just as well as any other normal child, and
Does.
in fact better than some.
That's
Yes,
true.
it does.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good thing. So the elementary school was a really good place to take
Excellent.
him.
It was excellent. It really was. Had
Yeah.
wonderful teachers. Matter of fact, I wish that, we can go back and see some of his teachers,
Oh, I bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have not heard of elementary schools that do what they did for Robert.
Yes. Yes.
I
It
had-
was amazing.
Amazing. It really was.
Mhm.
That's good. Now your families both live in the fairly close areas, I would
Yes.
guess.
Mhm.
Okay.
I want to say one thing that Robert, he always said that he prays so hard that he can talk like his sister and his cousin. And God answered him. I said, look at you now, Robert. You're writing a book to tell your whole story about autism.
Yeah.
And God is so good, he blessed you. He said, yes, and I thank him every day.
Well, yes, the Bible
Yes.
says when you pray, God answers your prayers.
Yes, he did.
And this is obviously a case where that happened.
Oh, yeah.
He sure
He
did.
did.
And I'm so
Yes, he did.
proud of you, Robert. I love you so much.
Love you too.
Well, that is great. So, in school, you obviously would have had some challenges.
Yes.
What were the biggest challenges you faced in school?
The biggest challenges I would say that I faced in school was socialization. I wasn't, I never went to my school. I never went to homecoming and things like that because I was never interested.
Okay. Now,
And
did you enjoy talking to your fellow students much, or?
well, I did enjoy it, but at the same, I was mostly focused on my schoolwork.
Okay. Now that makes sense. So in the video games you were talking about, you enjoyed that because you could do that at your own speed and
Yes.
gain what you needed to gain from them.
Yes.
Okay. Now how about, have you gotten involved in much reading over the years?
Yes, I've gotten involved in reading. And speaking of reading, I used to read out loud to all the students. When it was read aloud time in elementary school, I would just read out loud, and the teachers would get frustrated with me because I read out loud to myself.
Oh,
And And then I would whisper, and I would whisper for a short minute, but then I would read out loud to myself because it really helped me at the time, and it still does help me.
Reading out loud.
Yes.
Yes. I can understand that. Yes.
Yes.
What would be your favorite book?
My favorite book would be The Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And is that about Jeff Kinney?
It's about Greg Heffley. It's about his challenges coming up in middle school and him going on adventures with Riley Jefferson, his best friend at the time. Mm-hmm. And I still keep up with them to this day. I don't read their books anymore, but I still know that they are still writing books.
Oh, okay. So what year did you feel inspired to start writing this book?
I felt inspired to start writing this book this year.
It should have been impossible, but his mother was dying. She was tall and beautiful, still in the full health and vigor of her prime, despite having lied more than 1,000 years near the hot spring of her magnificent forest. That, for dryads, was the way of things. She wore very little because she had no need of clothing, no matter the time of year. She slumbered in winter, when the sap ran slow and her forests lay silent, and she awoke each spring, pale as the moon, lithe and hungry and fertile. She blossomed through the summer, and by autumn she was full-bodied, curvaceous, with skin of cinnamon gold. Her name was Tiger, and she was the object of every man's desire.
Okay. And is your mother helping you with these books at all, or?
Yeah, she's helping me, with ideas. She's a big support system, along with my sister Katrina.
Oh.
And my brother Darnell.
Well, so you've got a whole family working with you. That's
Yes,
good.
And my auntie, and my uncle.
Oh, good.
And my dad. They are just with me by 100%, and words cannot express how grateful that I am.
Well, that's good. That is good that you've got that much help, and your family's been, well, your mother's seen it from the very beginning, and your aunt, I would guess. And when was it you noticed that he was developing the skills to do something like write a book?
He started writing about a few months back. And I told Robert, he said, Mom, I'm gonna write a book. So I said, well, go ahead, write a book. I had no idea. So he just continued. I said, you continue to write, and I'll call the publisher. And he continued to write, and I called Mr. Hill, and that's how we got started.
Well, that's good. So when did he start talking pretty much, well, like a normal young man?
I'll say about 5.
Well, that's good.
About 5, he started, you know, having sentences and, you know, really communicating.
Well, that's a pretty quick recovery.
Yeah.
Because there are people I've seen with autism who did not recover anywhere near that fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Like I said, early intervention is the key.
well, yeah, yeah. Well, that's right. So, did you get involved at all in writing the book?
No, he told me things that he wanted to do. He also tells me that I have more goals than he, and he wants to be a RN. He wants to go back for nursing.
An RN.
Yes.
That would be a good thing to do. That's fairly challenging. That's, I think, about a 2-year course, isn't it?
Yeah, about a 2-year course.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And what made you decide you would want to be an RN?
Well, the goal. Well, I wanted to be an RN because of the money and the passion for it. You know, I've heard that they make a lot of money and things like that, and I wanted to try something different. But I also want to be my own boss in this book writing thing. I want to turn my books into movies.
Right.
I want to expand. I can see myself expanding further with this book writing.
Well, yeah. Some people have written books and gone well into, you know, getting them produced into movies, and now
Be nice.
some of the books that have made it into movies aren't the best books, but you know, some good books have made it also.
Yes.
You know, Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities was a great book that made an outstanding movie also.
Yes. And that's that's my goal, my new goal. I want to be my own boss with this book writing / movie making thing.
Yeah. Well, and being an RN, you would be in healthcare still. You would be helping people out,
Yeah.
and you'd be pretty much your own boss when you're helping out the patient, because nobody'd be standing there
right.
looking over you
Nobody's
as you
over
do
you.
it.
Yeah.
You just, you know, be doing what you can to help the patient recover, or making sure that they are not becoming worse off, in which case you'd have to do what you could and call the doctor right away also, and let the doctor know, you know, what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good ambition. And I think it takes a fair amount of work to become an RN.
Yeah.
You've got to study hard, learn a lot about what happens to a patient and how to take care of a patient, and you know, I'm sure there are things I'm not thinking of too.
Yes.
So,
right.
did you do any work in healthcare?
Yes, I did. I'm home health care provider, and I also work with kids with like a mental disability.
Okay.
I do that now.
Oh, that's good. That's so the work you're doing is benefiting the people you deal with,
Yes.
which is good.
He has a
Yes.
cousin that's an RN.
Oh. Now, did you ever do any of that type of work?
Oh yes, I was a clerical. My field was in clerical and medicine. I occupational therapist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I work
No.
with people.
Now, as an occupational therapist, what did you do for people?
Oh well, then I take them down and stretch their limbs. You know, play ball and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So you have some good women to learn from here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And now you've got a whole big family
Yes.
that has helped you out for a long time.
Yes.
And what did your dad do for his occupation?
He worked at a plant.
A plant?
Yes, and he worked at Oak Park when I was younger
Okay.
as a janitor.
And UPS.
And then UPS and
Oh.
FedEx and
Oh, yeah. Okay. UPS and FedEx. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
They get the mail delivered,
Yes.
among other things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm shouldn't have done
Oh
that.
my gosh. So, now, when you become an RN, would you look at working with children who have disabilities like you suffered with, or?
Yes, I would definitely like to do that.
Okay. And would you work with children like that at
Life is more than just a box of chocolates. Understanding autism and learning positive ways in achieving our humanity for every child.
Robert Lee Dockery had overcame many obstacles, and now he has written his life's journey in autism called The Autistic Child, an in-depth look from an autistic child's eyes, like me. Copies at online stores where available.
I do now.
Oh, you do now?
Yes, for
Okay.
mental disabilities.
Oh, that's a difficult one, yes.
Yes, that's what I do now.
Okay, and you probably start out with very young children then?
Yes, yes, and then we work with older people too, you know.
Okay. Now, are you still you're still doing the video games, I take it?
Yes.
And how many animals do you see a week normally?
Well, I'm taking care of my 2 dogs at home, and my mom is impressed by the way I take care of the dogs.
Oh, what type of dogs do you have?
I have a miniature bully and a Shih Tzu mixed with Chinese.
Oh, a Shih Tzu
Yep,
and
a miniature bully.
a miniature
Bully, a miniature bully.
Bully.
bully?
Yeah, it's like a bulldog.
Oh, a miniature like a bulldog. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, they're a lot of those bulldogs are good dogs.
Yes.
So they keep you company also.
Yeah.
If nobody else is around, you got those dogs, and they're
Yeah.
going to keep you busy.
Yep. Yeah.
So, your dad is Robert Dockery also.
Yes.
Okay, and I take it you and your dad and your mom are still dealing with the dogs.
Yes.
Well, no, it helps to have more than one person if you're dealing with dogs because they like company all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah. And now, do you have any pets of your own?
No, I'm retired, but my husband was talking about getting me a little shoe.
Oh,
I don't know, love. I don't know because I'm retired and I don't know whether I want that responsibility as far as, because it's like a babysitter. You got to find somebody if I want to go,
Oh, yeah.
you know, fly out or whatever. I have to find a babysitter.
you can't leave them alone.
You can't leave them alone, so
No,
it's just like a child. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, if you're not at home, if you're not spending a lot of time at home,
Right,
they get very upset.
and they do. So,
Oh yes, I know. I've had some. I know you got to be there for them.
oh yeah, you have to be there. When my kids were young, I had pets, dogs, all the time. Yeah.
Well, the kids were there, and
Yeah,
would
they were
love
there,
being
right.
with the dogs.
So
And-
now they're not there. I don't know.
No,
It's a lot of
no.
responsibility.
Oh yes, if it's just you
Yeah.
You got to be home most of the time.
Right, and I don't want. I'm retired. I want to do things. I like traveling.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I know my father had one. He'd take it in the car when he'd go to play golf if nobody else was there, and then when he'd get to the golf course, the dog would lay down and go to sleep.
He said, "I'm going for a ride. When I get there, I'm gonna chill out."
Yeah, and then he'd bring a snack for the dog to eat, and the dog was happy when he got that snack.
Because he was with him also, so he
Yeah.
was very happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's of course. I don't know if you. I think dogs are about the only pets that I know of like that who want somebody there.
That's true.
Almost all
they
the
want
time.
somebody there, and they get jealous if you leave, and they know when you're leaving.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're smart.
See, and cats don't seem to care.
No.
Sometimes it seems like they like it better if you stay away.
That's right. They in their
That's-
little world.
So, well, what did you see as you were growing up? What did you see as your toughest challenges in school?
Well, I saw as my toughest challenges in school would probably be socialization and bullying. And speaking of bullying, I plan on writing another book just on my bullying in school.
So you were bullied by people in school?
Yes.
Well, that's not a good thing.
Yes.
No.
Did they try to do that when the teachers were around, or when they'd wait till you were alone with nobody else around?
It was kind of like a mixture of both. Yeah.
So they would try to tell you what to do and things like that.
Yes.
And did they actually push you
And
around?
and not just they bully me outside of school. They bully me at centers and
Well, at the centers, weren't there people who saw it happening who would
yeah.
prevent them from doing that?
Yes, but sometimes it would be to no avail.
Oh,
They would keep doing it.
and these were, how old were you and how old were they, the people who were doing this to you?
They was like little kids around my age.
Oh, so yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for an adult to stop a little kid,
Yeah, it's kind
they
of
have restrictions now. See, when I was a little kid, which was a long time ago,
Yeah.
if a kid was bullying another kid, the teacher could spank the kid
That's right. They
and
could
stuff
spank
like
them.
that.
Yeah.
They can't do that
They
anymore.
can't do it anymore.
They put their hands on a kid like that, they can be in big trouble.
Yeah.
So that means it's tough to discipline the kid and teach a kid who's a bully not to be a bully. Because if you can't discipline them at all, it becomes
kinda
very
hard.
tough.
Yeah.
It's real hard.
Yeah.
'Cause they figure they ain't gonna do anything to me.
Yeah.
Right, So,
Yeah.
And I don't know why they ever made those changes,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
that does not help
No,
the other kids growing up around them.
I know. Everything's changed
So,
tremendously.
well,
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that have changed for the worse.
Oh, yeah.
And getting a little bit off the subject, that's why I think big government does not benefit the people, because they're the ones that tell you can't do that,
That's right.
you know. And George Washington said, government is not reason, it is not eloquence, it is force. Like fire, it is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Well, not being able to stop bullies from bullying other children gives you a good example of that.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So, and was there anything you were able to do to stop children from doing bullying?
He
The bullying?
didn't really tell me a
Oh.
lot of things when he was growing up that was happening to him. He didn't tell me a lot, So
Oh.
I actually had no idea that it was really happening to him. He wouldn't come home and tell me.
Probably didn't want you to worry.
I don't know why he kept it from me, but he didn't. He wouldn't come home and tell me.
Why did you choose not to tell your mom about that stuff?
Well, I didn't want to, worry her. I wanted to just get through it. My mindset is as long as they weren't like physically touching me, I would be straight. It was mostly verbal.
Oh yeah, no, that's still a bad thing to do to another person.
Yes.
Still
But
bad.
some kids actually at an early enough age don't even realize that they're bullying other people. They do it and they just think they're doing what they should do. And if their parents don't tell them not to do it, then, if your parents don't tell you it's wrong, how do you know it as
right.
a
How
very
do you
young
know it?
person? Yeah, I have seen kids get away with that, and there was someone I knew when I was a youngster who bullied everybody he could, and I wondered why. Then I found out years later his dad was the same way.
Wow.
So he grew
didn't
up
know
the
any
son of a
better.
bully,
Right.
and so he did the same thing. His dad probably encouraged him to do that. Now, most parents don't encourage that, but you don't know when you see a young kid doing stuff like that. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
yeah. And so you got through all the bullying,
Yes.
and it's something you probably don't have to deal with anymore. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a fairly tall man, aren't you?
Yes.
How tall are you?
I'm about like 6'3",
Okay.
6'4".
6'3" or 6'4", yeah. Yeah, I could tell. I didn't realize it when I saw you sitting down at first, but then when I saw you standing up out there, I thought, okay, yeah, he's really towering over that woman he's next to. So, yeah. So,
Who your shirt?
now, did you still live in the same area where you were born, up north of here, or did you move?
I moved from South. I live in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
I don't live in Southfield.
Okay, you live in Detroit now, not Southfield.
Yes.
And you're still in Southfield, or are you in Detroit now too?
No, we're in Detroit. Detroit. We're from Ferndale, actually.
Oh, Ferndale, okay.
Yeah. A place called Roanoke Township,
Right.
and then we moved to Detroit. Still own a house in Roanoke Township, though.
Oh, okay. So, did you move also, or are you still in the area where they were?
No, yeah, I moved. I was in Detroit. Actually, I still have a house in Detroit also, but I stay in West Bloomfield.
Okay, okay. And you like it much better there where you're at now?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's okay. It's fine. Like I said, I still have a home in Ferndale too. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I know a little bit about Detroit. I've been up there. And I've been to a lot of places up there, but it's been long enough that for me to remember how to get to most of those places, it'd be kind of tough.
Right. Yeah.
A few of them I remember still, but
Okay.
yeah. There are some very nice areas going
Yes,
up north
it
of
is.
here,
There's
and
very nice areas in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
yeah, I've been to areas that I thought I didn't think there was anything there, and then I got there. Somebody showed me the area. I thought, oh yeah, I didn't know all this stuff was here.
Yeah.
like I used to think before somebody who lived in Jackson took me over there and showed me the town that there was nothing but a prison there.
Oh, yeah.
Then I saw that town, saw all the nice places you could go there, and there was a place that served ice cream there. The chunks of ice cream they serve you when you get it are about that big around.
Wow. I like to have that about right now.
Yeah.
You too?
And they don't
Ice
tell you when
cream.
you look at the menu and you say, okay, you can get 1, 2, or 3 chunks. They
Whoa.
Yeah, they don't tell you how big they are.
No,
Wow.
that's good. You're getting a lot for the money.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But you know, if you've never been to a place, if you've heard about it,
Right,
and you've
that's
never been
true.
there, your idea of it's going to be totally different than what you see when you get there.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so, and I'm sure there are a lot of nice places around Detroit. I know I was at one time. It's the only time I was ever there. And you could look out the restaurant window and see Zug Island,
Oh,
Wow.
and I'd have no idea how to get there again. But somebody gave me directions before, and that was it.
okay.
And so, has your book been published already?
No, it hasn't been published or ready.
Okay,
Wow.
so it will be
Yeah, well, I
published
think
fairly
she-
soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's finished.
It's
now.
done.
Oh, it's finished, it's published,
Yeah.
so it's on the market.
Well,
Right
it's
now.
coming up, and
Oh, it's coming
I think
up.
in like 10 days or so.
10 days, okay.
Yeah, that's what
And-
I'm saying.
Oh, that'll be good, then you'll be,
On the shelves, huh?
yeah, be on the bookshelves and
Yeah.
people will be buying it, and that'll be good,
Yes, it would be.
yeah. I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
And how far have you gotten on your next book, or?
Well, I'm talking about, I'm on the football aspect of it. Yes, the football aspect of it. For track, and I ended up making the team. And I played with a coach named Fred George, and he was very instrumental to me. He taught me. I had fun, even though I wasn't very good at track. I had fun, and that's what mattered to me, and that's what mattered to him also.
Okay, and so you ran track, and that's the main sport of the other sport.
That was the only sport I played in high school.
Okay, and now, do you play, say go out and play other games now? Like,
Basketball.
No, I don't play other games now. I
okay,
just,
but you ran track
Yes.
and you didn't try for football or say any of the other sports?
no,
Well, okay, well, track's a good sport to get into
yes.
because it definitely builds your health, developing
Yes, and
stronger
then
legs and
I figured like the wide receivers who play run routes and things like that. So I wanted to try track.
no, track is a very good sport to get into.
Yes.
That's do you still run it all?
No, I don't run.
Okay, I just wondered because some people who did run track will still go out and run around just like they're on the track, and
Yeah.
you know. And there are some places, if you go to these little parks around towns, some of them do have tracks you can run around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
some kids do that, and some adults do that.
Yeah.
That's adults, especially when they get older and want to get back into better
Safe.
condition, will sometimes do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of things you can do like that. So, and now, what are your plans for once you get this book published? Do you have any idea how long you want to go before you get your next book published?
I want to, well, I got a lot of ideas, like, you know, the book I'm working on currently is, you know, my connection to sports and how it's going to help other autistic kids.
Now,
Not autistic kids, I'm sorry, but autistic people in general.
okay. How did the connection to sports help you?
The connection to sports helped me because it helped introduce me to something different. You know, it helped me see different things other than, you know, being in a world just secluded to myself.
Now, tell me which sport you were most interested in.
I was most interested in football and basketball.
Football and basketball.
Yes.
Okay, there's a lot of running going on in both those sports.
Yes.
Yes. Did you try playing any basketball?
And I never tried to play basketball.
Okay. Well, it's a game that takes practice, but not just practice. The kids that learn to play it usually start playing when they're 5 or 6 years old, and you know, playing against each other out in the park where they've got a basketball court.
Yeah.
So if you live in that kind of area, a lot of times you'll get started early.
Yes.
But if you don't, you're probably not going to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in fact, there was a park where I grew up. They had a basketball court, place where you could play football, place where you could play softball or baseball. So kids were down there playing all the time now when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Now you go past there, nobody's out there
Nobody's
playing any
there.
sports.
No.
It's like the kids are all sitting home on their
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's
That's
what
what
they
they're
do.
little
doing.
things. Yeah. It surprised me with the first few times I went past there in the summer, didn't see any kids out there at all.
It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
They used to
Kids
play.
don't have the imagination like when we coming up.
Yeah.
You know, we go play hopscotch and
Oh, yeah.
all kinds of little things.
Oh, I used to see girls doing that and skipping
Yeah.
rope and all
Jumping
kinds of stuff.
rope. Oh, we
hopscotch
had so
and-
much
yeah.
fun. Now
Yeah.
kids don't even want to go outside.
No, I know.
They glued to the phones and,
Yeah.
and the TV.
Oh, and the TVs. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I mean, if I could have done that, I would have probably sat home and watched a lot of TV all day long. But my mother
go
had me
outside. That's right.
say, get out there
Get
and
out
do
there and
something.
go play and do something. That's right.
Yeah.
You couldn't sit around and watch TV all day long. No way.
No, I'm glad somebody had me not do that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Well, you know, it's really been great interviewing the three of you,
Well, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
mother,
Yes.
aunt, and son. That's
Mm-hmm.
a good combination. So, well, thank you for watching this episode of APN TV Media, and I'd like to thank our guests tonight, Robert Dockery, his mother Eleanor, and his aunt Shirley McDonald. They were great guests to have.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
We enjoyed.
You're welcome.
We sure
I
did.
enjoyed you. It was
We-
great. It was a great interview.
Well, thank you. I'm sure the audience is going to really enjoy seeing you.
There's a place inside my mind unseen, dreams of you and I that just can't be, but I can keep them safe and locked away inside. In a perfect world where I controlled it, give me your heart there and I would hold it. But I know that just can't be reality. But please, don't you wake my daydream, 'cause it's so real it seems. Maybe someday I'll get my head from the clouds, but for now I'll just daydream. If you said to jump, then I will do it. Right into the fire and walk straight through it. If you knew, I bet that's just what you would say. I guess the only thing for me to do is never let you know just how I'm feeling, 'cause I don't want to know if you don't feel the same. It's a shame. Don't you wake my daydream, 'cause it's so real it seems. Maybe someday I'll get my head from the clouds, but for now I'll just daydream. 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 There's a place inside my mind unseen, dreams of you and I that just can't be, but I can keep them safe and locked away inside, inside. But don't you wake my daydream. Oh, so real it seems. Maybe someday I'll get my head from the clouds, but for now I'll just daydream. Don't you wake my daydream.